Hello and welcome to another episode of the 11th OVC in examining primary resources. Today I thought we would examine some sounds of the past, and it's very difficult to do for so long ago, but there are a couple different ways that we can examine primary resources in the form of sound. And one of those is listening to the actual veterans and their various recordings. Now, there weren't many of these, and so that kind of narrows down what we can examine. However, I wanted to share a really cool video. Some of you may be familiar with it, some of you maybe not so much. But we're going to be examining a video that I found on the Smithsonian's Museum's YouTube channel, and it is a recording of veterans, probably the turn of the century, 1910, 1920 or so, and they are veterans from the Civil War, and they are actually giving the rebel yell for people to listen to. So this is really, really neat, and I hope you enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of announcing to you that we are going to make an effort to repeat the old rebel yell. 1, 2, 3.
Charge him, boys, charge him.
Well, that was a pretty neat recording there. One thing to keep in mind is the cadence or the rhythm of how this is utilized. We don't know whether that is an accurate recording or not. We know that each individual sound is similar to what the rebel yell used to sound like in the American Civil War, but there was always going to be some sort of variation. Another really interesting thing is that there's another couple of videos out there. I believe the Museum of the Confederacy a couple years back actually did quite a bit of research, and they developed their own CD of a recording of the rebel yell. And so what they actually did was take one of these recorded calls. Later on in this video, we'll share the link in the description below. They do individual recordings of each gentleman doing their own version of the rebel yell. And so they took one of these that was from a certified source, and they recorded it over and over itself in a studio with various pitches and delays. And so then they actually played around a company size of about 70 men together giving the rebel yell, and so that's approximately what they think that sounded like. And then I believe there were some other variants where they did more and more, so you would hear a regiment, a brigade, a division, various levels of masses of men giving the rebel yell. And so you can kind of get a sliver of what it would have originally sounded like on the battlefield. There's a couple other really cool videos that are out there that actually have superimposed sounds of battle over that. So in addition to hearing that rebel yell, you were hearing musketry fire, you're hearing artillery shells going off and so forth. And so that was, I think, one of the benefits of living in a technological age where we have these resources at our disposal, and you can actually come up with a wonderful example of what it could have sounded like.
I'll give you the individual there, Captain James Dinkin. General Stevens.
We'd like to thank you guys for joining us this week for another review of a primary resource. If you want to learn more about the 11th OVC and some of the other things we're doing, go ahead and subscribe, hit like, and hit the little bell icon so you get notifications of what's going on. And until we see you in the field or in the library, read hard.